speaking of Patrick Sites, let's start with Uzumaki here.
Okay. Wow.
Season finale of Uzumaki.
Season finale.
Yep.
This was the silliest episode.
This show it holds a special place in my heart.
Yeah.
Because it is the dumbest story ever told,
Yeah.
but at the same time, wow, is it fun.
This one's super silly. Should we talk about briefly, like, just Uzumaki as a whole, what we felt of it? Because
Yes.
we are just talking about the end right now.
So 4 episodes. I think all of the episodes were around a half hour long, so about 2 hours of content.
Yeah.
Everyone's going to talk about the fact that episode 1, super well animated, super crisp. Not so like there's a couple of moments where the CG like pokes through, but like besides that, you're like, oh my god, this is exactly how Junji Ito's like most important and most famous story should be like brought to the animated medium.
Yeah.
And then episode 2, 3, and 4 didn't look great. And I feel like, unfortunately, that's going to be what everyone talks about in regards to this adaptation.
Yeah, and they should be talking about just how fucking silly it gets.
It's like the genuine takeaway from this, because there's a lot of people who definitely didn't read Uzumaki or now interacting it like with the first time that are going to be like, oh, wow, this is stupid. And that's what we need to talk about, because it's a dumb story.
Yeah. I was blown away, pun intended, by this episode.
Yeah.
In terms of just like when the fucking dragonfly boys show
Just
up,
out of nowhere.
they're just in tornadoes.
Out of like, just the video, the episodes opens and like, oh, by the way, the entire town is gone because a couple of guys called the Butterfly Gang can turn themselves into fucking Avatar Aang.
Yeah, that was awesome. They roll up and they go, where is it? He goes, we're not the Butterfly Gang anymore. We're the Dragonfly Gang.
We're the Jumbo Dragonfly. We're the carnivorous Jumbo Dragonfly Gang.
Yeah, a dude goes, we're Jumbo Dragonflies, not little dragonflies.
Yeah.
What's happening?
That's playground rules, baby. That's when somebody you thought of a really cool nickname, and then somebody was like, that's gay when you were a kid. You're like, fuck, we gotta make it cooler. Like, oh no, butterflies are gay.
Damn it. Dragonflies
have double the amount of wings.
Yeah. It's like, is that cool? Jimmy is like, oh, a tornado took him. Dude, tornadoes.
Why'd you move so fast, Jimmy?
Tornadoes just taking people. There are
left,
people,
right, and center.
People are just having a conversation like in a group. A tornado just plucks a single dude out of it.
And they're like, oh, it got him. And then they just move on. And I love the fact that they just lay down and they're like, that was enough to avoid the tornado.
Dude, there was a bit, so the Butterfly Gang rolls up in tornadoes.
Yeah.
Like they're just riding them. And a kid's like, hey, that's pretty cool. And the girl's like, don't go imitating that. And I'm like, why not? That's objectively cool.
Yeah, like, you know how many people have died trying to imitate them? And I was like, yeah, I would have been one of them. Are you kidding me?
Hey, you know how many people turned into fucking snails this month?
So snail heavy this episode. so snail heavy. And it's like, listen, if I have to go out either being like Avatar Aang for a week or turn into a snail that gets eaten raw by a dude slithering his way into my shell, I'm taking the tornado.
Dude, that was awesome. That was so funny.
It's great.
I love when he's like, do you know some bugs eat snails like this? And he just slithers in.
And he's just like cracking his spine to get in.
This is
It's the dumbest story ever told. Like when you're reading it, you're like, it's like spooky because you like dim the lights a little bit, and like you can do the voices in your own head. And it's a book, so it can't be like a book. Like can be kind of silly, but it's like the art's really
it sucks
good.
You in.
But this, it's like between the mix of bad CGI and just like the voice acting, which was good, but like just like hearing voice acting talk about like we're gonna eat this snail person. Like there's no way to seriously deliver the lines of Uzumaki.
Yeah.
Like did you know that some bugs eat the snails like this, and just like hearing a spine crack, and you're like, this is dumb.
There's a bit where they take their snail friend to a cliff.
Yeah.
And the girl's like,
her snail little brother. And she's like, go get him. Go little brother, go down the cliff.
yeah, she's like, do you think you could climb down there? And the subtitles go, snail noises. And she goes, you got it. Yeah, she's like, turns him. He's a big snail with hair.
And then, like, if you don't go, I'll hit you. Hey, man, they're eating them back there. That's not a big enough threat.
It's so fun. I just love, like, do you think you could climb down there? You got it.
You got it. It's like, I've been spending weeks with snail people. I've picked up the dialect.
It's so funny.
Yeah. I also love that they're like people are like eating the snails. And I think it's like Shuichi and Kirie are like, don't eat those. Those used to be humans. And they're like, what? And it's like, you think these 6 foot tall snails weren't humans? They're like, what do you mean? And they're just, shut. Would you eat a snail person?
I want to eat a not snail person.
Like you would eat a regular snail.
You don't
eat shrimp.
I'd eat a person sooner than I eat a snail that was never a person.
That's wild.
That's just how I feel.
If I was like, hey, here's a freshly flambéed human arm or a plate of escargot, you would go for the freshly flambéed arm?
100% in that context, 100%. But I'm not going to go down to Kohl's. I'm not going to go down to Men's Warehouse, harpoon a dude behind the cash register.
Why are you getting retail workers? You're like, your life's not worth living anyways. All right.
Well, you're making me out to seem like some kind of big monster. I'm saying if I'm like on an island, a man dies and a snail dies. I'm eating the man first.
That's wild.
Why is that wild?
I'm cracking into a snail. Dude, they made it sound so good. They were taking handfuls of that shit.
I feel like I've always wanted to try like a clam, like a mussel. I feel like it's maybe like that, but a mussel seems tastier to me.
Have you ever had a scallop?
No.
What from the sea have you eaten?
Turtle? No, wrong answer. Joking. Harbor seal?
Yeah, baby seals. Yeah, remember when me and Sarah went on that wine tour? I took one with me.
Yeah, it's like, what have I eaten from the ocean? Like turtle, shark fin soup, dolphin.
There was that humpback whale we had. That was really good.
No, I've had clam chowder.
Okay.
Love a clam chowder.
Gotcha.
Oh man.
So you've eaten basically mussels.
Yeah, but in chowder. So I've had clam chowder. Fish sticks, which I believe is porpoise.
Pretty sure that's like a mix of sea urchin and baby dolphin.
Yes. Fish sticks, crab, but all like years ago. I remember kind of liking crab.
Okay.
It's pretty good. The one where it's like red, you know what I mean?
Crab is red, most of it,
cool.
yeah. Did you eat imitation crab or regular crab?
I have no idea.
Too long ago, gotcha.
I tried lobster at my dad's wedding. Because he was
having a real nice Italian. It was like, hey, you're not going to embarrass me not eating my lobster.
Did I ever tell you about my dad's wedding?
No, well, let's get into the trauma.
It's so quick.
This is going to be great.
Was
there ladles?
My dad's second wedding.
Yep. Not to your mom.
Not to my mom.
Yep.
To not mom. Whose name, I'll call her Gail because that's her name.
Because that's her name, yeah.
And at his wedding, it was in Gail's backyard, he gave everybody shirts.
Now that's class. It was in Auntie Gail's backyard.
He gave everybody t-shirts that say, time to eat a Motta lobster. And
I think I've seen you wear this before.
That's the shirt. It says, time to eat a Motta lobster. They did the ceremony where they get married. And then my dad was the first one out of his suit into the shirt. And I have a photo.
Just cracking it.
I have a photo.
Just ripping through with his teeth.
I have a photo of all of these people in suits, like dancing, like around. My dad's the only one at the table, sucking on a lobster like it's a crawdad.
He's like, no wonder we're on marriage number 2. Fuck. I like the idea that your dad just got remarried for as a way to excuse spending $600 on lobster. It's like, back up the whole tank. I'm taking them all.
So that's when I had lobster. I don't remember it very well. I'd have lobster though again. And that's it. I don't eat a lot from the fish. I don't like salmon. I like tuna.
Question for you.
Go.
If you had to choose between the mushroom placentas or human snail, what are you eating?
What are you talking about?
The mushroom placentas or the human snails. What are you eating?
From the last episode.
Yep.
Human snail.
Okay.
I don't like mushrooms.
That's the right choice. Yeah. That being said, they made them both sound pretty good.
Can I cook them? Can I put it in a dish?
You can absolutely serve them whatever way you want.
Because I'll eat a gravy. You know, like a mushroom gravy.
Oh, you put that over a nice piece of beefsteak.
Yeah,
nice little piece of beefsteak. Yeah, you give me a gravy. Yeah. Time to eat a lot of mobster.
I think it's that one. I think it's the mushroom. Why didn't they in a gravy beefsteak?
Why didn't they do a lot of mobster? Time to eat a lot of mobster.
You're not eating. No, because it's
but they
a Motta. Like you're not eating mobsters.
But you switch the letters. It's time to eat a lot of mobster.
No, but it's.
Oh, I guess, but then it's because
that's like I'm eating.
It's L for both.
Yeah.
Time to eat.
Yeah.
Multiple mobsters.
My name's not in it, then.
I know. Fuck. God damn it. God, you're right.
Multiple mobsters.
They're smarter than me. I love my notes are so all over the place on this one. I said Tanizaki is a better carpenter than Jesus. That was one. I love the idea that they're just walking through. There's like, how long have you guys been gone? And like Tanizaki's just been building for years, eating snail people, and he's like, yeah, the guys inside are helping me.
Yeah.
Like Tanizaki, honestly, I think is he the only person who survives? I think so. I think he might be.
Yeah.
And it's Patrick Seitz.
Yeah.
Patrick Seitz is the only person who survives Uzumaki.
This is a bad town.
It's a bad story. If we're being 100% real,
Dude,
it's a bad story.
I saw a video that was like Junji Ito like reacts to like Uzumaki memes.
Yeah. And nobody explained them to him. It was like, who's this cat? It was so funny.
He's like, right here is a cat, and he says he's saying skibbity, and then right here, that one's.
He's just identifying the moments from his stories.
Yeah.
He's like, this is that's from Uzumaki, and this cat looks upset. I hope the cat's okay.
Yeah.
And then like nobody's like, no, please. Yeah. Junji Ito, legendary mangaka who we're trying to use for a bit here. Like, sit him down.
It's so not content.
Yeah, like literally take 30 seconds to explain the thing. Oh God. My next note was stop cremating people, and then the falling animation of Shuichi when it was just a PNG, they dragged down the spiral.
Yeah.
So bad.
Yeah.
Oh God.
It's like Invincible flying.
I'm gonna miss this.
Yeah.
I'm gonna miss this fucking story.
I'm so relieved it's over.
Dude, this has been my favorite thing to watch every single week.
Really?
Because here's the thing. It's bad funny.
Yeah.
Like, it's like, Uzumaki is not scary. It's not a good story, but it's so silly, it's fun.
It works better for horror, it works better in a manga.
Yeah.
For, like, goofy, silly Halloween comedy.
Yeah.
Like a Ginger Dead Man.
It's fucking,
or Chucky.
it's Goosebumps.
It's Goosebumps.
Yeah.
Like, it's better in anime form. But in the manga, I agree that it's like, you turn the page and it's like one of the most horrific looking things you've ever seen.
Yeah.
And there's no silly voice acting or music to like ruin that. So it's a series of like horrific images. It works as a horror manga.
Yeah.
But he really runs out of concepts towards the end.
When he's just making airbenders, like when they open up the door, when they open up the row house doors and everybody just like they Gale style everyone away. Like it's crazy. How did you get chosen for these abilities?
It's really funny. Yeah. So as a whole package, how do you rate it?
The entirety of Uzumaki. Okay, if I'm being real, based off the animation, based off the fact that the story is nonsensical, it's like a 6.5.
What's like the vibe you want to be
my
in?
genuine 1 to 10 enjoyment level? 8.6, 8.7. It was so much fun. It was a great 4 weeks. Yeah. I'm so happy it happened. I wish it was animated better, but also it being animated poorly kind of added to it. If I'm being entirely real, like, because it was never going to be this super serious, crazy, scary adaptation. So it being kind of goofy and just seeing people like choppily walk, like they're like AI generated walking images, kind of adds to like this is enjoyable to watch factor.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, I have the same opinions about the manga that I do the anime, where it starts really strong and like
what's the Hayao Miyazaki wall of Uzumaki?
Hair Girl.
It is Hair Girl, isn't it?
It's the first not interesting one.
Yeah, so it's like the dad and then it's like mom goes crazy. Snails is fun.
Yeah.
And then they do snails like 3 times and you're like, what are we doing here?
Yeah.
And then while that's happening, Hair Girl happens and then it's like we've lost the plot and style. Then we're doing like mosquito spirals and then we're doing the lover snake thing.
They twist up. I really think it like starts at the peak. Like the second you turn on Uzumaki, it's peaked.
Yeah.
And then it just slowly goes down.
Out. It's like watcher retention.
Yeah.
Like
exactly.
on YouTube, it's like 100%. You had 100% at 35 seconds in.
I showed my roommate and Sarah the first episode.
Yeah.
And every week that I watch this, I'm like, thank God I stopped at the first episode.
Yep.
I get like 4 chances to prove to them anime's not weird.
And boy, oh boy, is Uzumaki not the one.
Yeah, so, yeah.
Dandadan is also going to be one that you're going to want to avoid.
Agreed. Yeah. I'm embarrassed to send that to my editor every week.
Dude, it is. I've been rereading them. So actually, before we do that, should we close out on Uzumaki? You want to give me your final ranking on it here?
Same thing, like, objectively like a 6, but if you're like if you're going into it being like the way I pitched it to my roommates, where I'm like, this is a great like Halloween horror thing, 6 to 5.
Yeah.
If you go in, you're like, you want to get real high and like goosebumps.
That's what I was about to say. If you are baked off your ass and like you're like still want to get in the Halloween mood, what a fun story.
Yeah, get some weed, get some apple cider, like drop the heat in your house.
Yeah.
Get under a blanket. Like I'm like genuinely, I would consider on Halloween wrangling up my roommates, being like, this 2 hours, let's all get really high on edibles and watch this.
Because you're just going to giggle. Because it's just like, objectively, it's funny. It is funny. Like, them running with, what was like, Chie, or in the last episode, they're like running with their friend, and they're like, there's an opening in the row houses, and then they just watch their friend die, and they're like,
whoops,
keep going. Like, you just watch your friend get absorbed into an amorphous group of people living in a spiral of houses.
The attitude of the whole show is just whoops. And that's the funniest bit about it.
It's just death. It's just rampant death and 2 children being like, keep it rolling.
Yeah.
And then at the end, they're just like, that was exhausting. It's like the first time either of them is human when they're laying at the bottom of what is the entire ground is just spiraled humans. And they're like, you know what? Whatever.
It's like, I love when they open the door of that shack and the guy's like, there's so many of us and we've tangled so much, we can't untangle. Yep. And it's like, fucking stop. The second one person gets tangled, stop moving.
Get out. Just get out. Like, they're like, oh, you can't move fast outside.
You should never become a human rat king.
I'm not taking my chances like with melding into each other. If like all I have to do to avoid it is walk slowly outside, I'm good. Wow. A tour de force.
Yeah.
Fantastic. You know what? Go watch it. It's great. It's great. It's my favorite thing of the season. Anime's bad this year. Fucking go enjoy genuinely, just go enjoy yourself, because it's one of the more enjoyable watches of this year. If you just want to be like, wow, anime's fun, boy, oh boy, is this it? Because everything else is bad.
Nick's lost his faith in it.
I've lost my faith in anime. I fucking hate anime.